Hey, welcome to GankStars Academy. Today we are going to show you how to establish and keep map vision with scout traps and flares. This video will help you understand the importance of vision and the properties of scout traps, as well as show you where and when to place scout traps and use flares. Some properties of scout traps are quite interesting and less known. To start things off, you may ask, why is vision on the map important? Knowing the exact location of your enemy allows you to either catch them off guard or successfully avoid them. In addition, you can only see what items the enemy is building when you have vision on them. The two items that allow you to have vision throughout the map are scout traps and flares. In addition, your turrets, lane minions, and captured minion mines will also provide vision when enemies are nearby. For a scout trap to reveal an enemy, there must not be any obstructions between them, such as walls or bushes. The enemy must also be within 6 meters of the scout trap. If an enemy steps over your scout trap and does not move away fast enough, the trap will explode and deal damage to them. This also makes them visible on the map for a few seconds, even if they walk into a bush or behind a wall. The enemy will have a marker over their head for this duration of time. Note that any neutral minions within the blast radius of a scout trap will also take damage. You can use this knowledge to help clear out a minion wave if the enemy is pushing the lane hard, or to aggro the gold mine or kraken onto the enemy. But in this video, we will focus on the vision-granting aspects of scout traps. We said earlier that for the scout trap to reveal an enemy, there must not be any obstructions between them, such as walls or bushes, and the enemy must be within 6 meters of the scout trap. The only exception to this rule is when a scout trap is placed in a bush. In that case, the trap will reveal enemies in the whole bush, even if parts of the bush are behind a wall or farther than 6 meters away from the trap. It will also reveal enemies outside of the bush within normal scout trap range. Whether the scout trap is considered to be in the bush or outside of it is determined by where the center of the trap is. If the center is in the bush, the whole trap is considered by the game to be in the bush, and vice versa. Scout traps are one of the tools used to reveal details about the enemy, such as what they are building. Notice how you only see enemy glaive has a 6 sins before he is revealed by a scout trap. So you may be thinking of buying some armor to counter him. Thankfully, a friendly scout trap reveals that glaive built a tension bow instead of a sorrow blade. Now you know that extra health would be a better counter than armor, which can make all the difference in fights. If placed properly, scout traps are valuable tools to keep watch of certain areas of the map. Place the trap so that the enemy walks near them without activating them. This way the traps stay around longer, and you don't have to spend as much money to replace them. There are several areas around the map where scout traps are most useful. They are as follows. Near your back jungle camps, so you know if the back minions have respawned, or near enemies' back jungle camps, so you can see if the enemy is there. Near the gold miner, so you know if the enemy is trying to take it. Both sides of the lane bush, so that your laner knows when an enemy is trying to come up to lane. In tri-bushes around the gold miner, to see if the enemy is hiding there. In the enemy jungle, near the shop or in the immediate area, to reveal items enemy purchased, as well as if they're busy shopping. Around frequently traveled paths, but placed in such a way that the enemy would avoid triggering them. Remember, if the enemy discovers the original placement of your traps, it might be a good idea to try a slightly different location. You don't have to place scout traps in every useful location each game. That will cost a lot of money. If you invade a lot, you want to prioritize traps in the enemy jungle. If your laner is weak in the early game, prioritize paths that can lead to ganks in the lane. This gives him the ability to see an incoming gank and the chance to retreat to the safety of his own turret. With that being said, here are all common locations for scout traps. Now let's talk about flares. Flares are another great tool for vision, and in some cases are better than scout traps. Flares reveal a much larger radius than scout traps do. Since they only last a couple seconds, be sure to use them wisely. Use flares when you want to either check a brush before you or a teammate enters to make sure it's safe, or to see exact enemy positioning when they're taking an objective, such as Kraken or Gold Miner, or to reveal enemy scout traps, or to reveal heroes or abilities during their periods of invisibility, such as Taka's Kaku or Kestrel's active camo. Flares are great late game because by then, most scout trap placements have already been figured out, so the quick vision can help your team immensely. Specifically, if you face a Taka, always have a flare starting from the very beginning of the game. While fighting Taka, you want to pay close attention to his health and flare the immediate area when you see it getting low. This will grant vision and reveal Taka's location, preventing him from going invisible. One last thing about flares. Keep in mind that they never show up on the minimap, even if there's a scout trap nearby. However, you can spot flare animation anywhere on the map if you're looking at the part of the map that was flared. Well, that's it for now. We hope that you can now see how well-placed vision can win you the game. Keep in mind that the roam player is usually the one who takes care of most of the scout traps and flares. That being said, if you're not roaming, you're not excluded from having to purchase these items. Having vision on the enemy is a huge advantage, and every teammate, regardless of role, can help with this. Please like this video and subscribe to the channel if you like what you just experienced.